So I'm in this team meeting, full team, manager at the front. She's going through the Q2 numbers. Everything seems fine. And then she pauses and says, "The figures look solid. That said, I think we need to rethink our approach for Q3. And I just nodded, like everyone else.
You had no idea what was happening.
None. Was she happy? Was she criticizing us? Was something about to change? I genuinely couldn't tell. And the meeting ended, and I'm sitting there thinking, what just got decided?
Because that said completely threw you.
I've heard that phrase 100 times. Nobody ever explained what it was actually doing in the sentence.
And that is a much more common experience than people admit. There's a whole layer of everyday English, phrases native speakers use constantly, that somehow never made it into language classes. You've heard them, you've let them wash past you, and then when you try to produce them yourself, you reach for something else, something you learned in a classroom, something you're certain about, and it comes out technically correct but slightly off, like a very careful translation.
That feeling is so frustrating. You know what you want to say, but you can hear yourself sounding wrong.
Today we're going through 7 of those phrases. You've heard every single one of them. We're finally explaining them, what they mean, when to use them, and what it costs you when you reach for the wrong thing instead.
Welcome to Almost Native, where we close the gap between the English you learned and the English people actually speak.
3 situations. I give you the sentence, you react. Don't analyze it, just tell me. Does this sound like something a real person would actually say?
Okay, go.
Situation 1. Job interview. Do you prefer working independently or as part of a team? And you answer, I prefer working in a team. However, I am also comfortable working independently.
That sounds completely fine. Solid answer.
Does it sound like something you'd actually say out loud in that room?
Maybe slightly formal, like I'm reading from a prepared script.
Situation 2. Workplace email. Pushing back a deadline. I understand the original deadline was Friday. Nevertheless, I would appreciate additional time to ensure the quality of my work.
I would write that email. Nevertheless, that sounds professional.
Would you say nevertheless to your manager, face to face?
No, I would never say that word to a real person in a real conversation.
And situation 3. Your coworker explains he missed the morning stand-up because he got stuck on a client call. You say, yes, I understand your reasons.
That's polite. Stiff, but polite.
Who actually says that?
A judge, or a very formal HR officer reviewing a written complaint.
Your coworker just explained why he was late. He's expecting a normal human response. There's a phrase that fits that moment perfectly, that native speakers use automatically. But learners either avoid it because they've decided it sounds too casual, or they use it in completely the wrong moment.
So these sentences I've been using, they're not wrong, but something's missing.
They're missing the signal. The right phrase doesn't just carry the meaning, it tells the other person how you're saying it, what your attitude is, what's coming next. When you replace these phrases with however and nevertheless, you're sending a signal the room didn't ask for.
That's actually kind of unsettling to hear.
It's also very fixable. Let's go.
So in the interview, I prefer teams. That said, I work independently well. I'm showing I can hold both sides at once?
Right. And interviewers read that as self-awareness. You thought it through. Now, what would the that said version of that email look like?
The original deadline was Friday. That said, I'd really appreciate a couple more days to make sure the work is where it needs to be.
Which reads as collaborative, versus nevertheless, which announces a challenge. Same content, completely different tone.
Okay, I'm genuinely going to stop using nevertheless in emails.
I will count that as a win. Now, fair enough. This is an acceptance phrase. It doesn't mean full agreement. It means, your reasoning makes sense, I'm not going to push back on this. There's a kind of honesty in fair enough. It's not, yes, absolutely, or, of course, whatever you need. It's genuine acknowledgement. I hear you. That lands.
But, and I really want to push back on this, is fair enough actually professional? Because I was specifically told in an English course that casual phrases don't belong in workplace conversations.
That's exactly the kind of advice that produces emails full of nevertheless.
Okay, but you can't just dismiss it like that.
You're right, I can't. Here's the real distinction. Casual doesn't mean unprofessional. Fair enough is used by executives, managers, people in interviews, people in board meetings. The question isn't casual versus formal. The question is register. Is this phrase appropriate for this moment? And fair enough fits almost any moment where someone has given you a real reason and you've decided to accept it.
So the problem wasn't the phrase. It's just that I learned to be suspicious of anything that sounds casual.
Exactly. Yes, I understand your reasons. Signals something formal and slightly distant. Fair enough signals something human. In most real workplace conversations, human is better.
Fair enough.
I'm going to keep a tally every time you use it without realizing.
Please don't.
4 more. I'm going to do these in pairs. 2 settings, 2 phrases each.
Come to think about it, I actually worked with that client in 2022. I might still have notes.
Nearly. It's come to think of it, not about it. Very common slip. Think about is so natural everywhere else. Try again.
Come to think of it, I worked with that client in 2022. I might still have notes from that project.
That's exactly it. And notice what it does. It signals you're connecting dots in real time, not reciting from a list. It makes you seem genuinely engaged.
Oh wow, it actually sounds like you're thinking out loud.
Exactly. Now, same meeting. You've contributed something useful. The room takes it in, your manager nods, the conversation moves forward, and now you need to present your section.
I think that covers the main points. I'll leave it there and come to me if anything's unclear.
Exactly. And see what those 2 phrases do together. You connected something real in the room, you presented clearly, and you closed with intention. You walked out of that meeting sounding like someone who belongs there.
2 completely different moves. Same meeting.
Second setting. A colleague tells you the sandwich place 2 blocks from the office is genuinely worth the walk. You've never been.
I'll take your word for it. I'll give it a try this week.
Perfect. And here's what that means specifically. I haven't verified this myself, but I trust your experience enough not to need to. It's almost a compliment. Your judgment is good enough for me.
Same phrase, 2 completely different messages.
Right. Now you actually go. The queue is long. You get back late. Your manager notices you were gone a while.
It's not like I disappeared for an hour. I was only gone 20 minutes longer than usual.
That's context, not an excuse. You're not saying I did nothing wrong. You're saying, here's the full picture. And it sounds grounded, as long as the context is actually on your side.
That's genuinely painful.
The phrase only works when the context is on your side. If you're wrong, it's not like, doesn't soften anything. It makes it worse.
I use that all the time. I thought that one was easy.
What does it mean to you?
It's fine, don't worry about it. A warm, casual version of no problem.
And that's correct. But here's what textbooks don't cover. No worries is not received identically in every English-speaking country, or in every professional context within the same country.
Wait, it's different in the US?
Younger Americans use it constantly, but in some formal workplaces, particularly with more senior colleagues, no worries can read as slightly breezy. Not wrong, just a register below what the moment called for.
Why, though? It means exactly the same thing as not at all.
Register. No worries sounds conversational, and in most situations that's perfect. Warm, natural, easy. But here's the specific situation to watch for. If someone senior to you apologizes, your manager, a client, a senior colleague, and you reply, no worries, a small percentage of people in very formal environments read that as you being overly casual with them. Not at all, or, please don't worry about it, carries a bit more warmth in those moments.
So it's partly about who's saying it to whom.
Partly, and I'll be straight about this. Native speakers don't all agree on it. Plenty of senior professionals in the US use no worries freely and think nothing of it. It's not a rule, it's a register sensitivity. But knowing it exists means you have a choice, and in the moments where it matters, having that choice is genuinely useful.
So, Australia, UK, casual US, no worries is completely fine. Very formal US contexts, or someone senior, not at all, might land a little warmer.
And you'll almost always be right.
Okay, 7 phrases. Let me see if I can land these without looking at anything.
That's exactly it. And the thing I'd add, all 7 of these work on 2 levels simultaneously. The words carry the meaning. The delivery carries the relationship. Get both right and you're not just saying the correct thing. You're saying it like someone who belongs in that conversation.
Which is kind of the whole goal, isn't it? You know what I keep coming back to? None of these phrases are really about grammar. They're about showing the other person that you understand the moment, that you know what kind of conversation this is, and you know your place in it.
Language at this level isn't about correctness. It's about being genuinely present in the conversation.
Yeah.
If this gave you something useful, stick around. There's a lot more coming.